and welcome to ICU TV News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Zambia commemorates International Labour Day with a call for inclusive economic growth. Kasempa man buried alive in Kikondo-Linked murder. 3 South African nationals arrested in Zambia for multi-million-dollar financial crimes. Kenyan MP shot dead in targeted attack in Nairobi. Zambia rugby team ready to face African Championship this weekend. With the news details, my name is Miriam Deborah Gamani. Zambia joined the global community in commemorating International Labour Day, honoring the contributions and achievements of workers across all sectors. This year's national event emphasized the critical role workers play in national development and underscored the need for their fair wages, improved working conditions, and equitable labor practices. Held under the theme Shaping Zambia's Future of Work Through Homegrown Solutions for Inclusive Economic Growth, the celebration was officiated by the Republican Vice President Ms. Mutale Nalumango, who served as a guest honor alongside senior government officials. The ceremony began with the national anthem and an opening prayer, followed by a vibrant parade featuring workers from various organizations, including staff from the Information and Communications University. The parade showcased the unity, dedication, and strength of Zambia's workforce. Exhibitions from different institutions included the March Past highlighting innovation and commitment to sustainable growth. The government reiterated commitments to fostering a supportive environment for workers and promoting inclusive economic development through solutions tailored to Zambia's unique challenges and opportunities. More in the following report.
Symbolic morning at the Freedom Statue in Lusaka, where hundreds of workers from across sectors gathered to mark International Labour Day 2025. The air was filled with music, chants, and national pride as workers celebrated their contributions to Zambia's economic and social development. This year's celebrations were held under the theme Shaping Zambia's Future of Work Through Homegrown Solutions for Inclusive Economic Growth. The theme speaks to the growing importance of local innovation, sustainable employment, and inclusive progress as key drivers of national transformation. Vice President Mutale Nalumango led the celebration, where she commended the hard work, resilience, and dedication of Zambian workforce. She also reaffirmed government's commitments to improving working conditions and promoting job creations across various sectors. The event began with a colorful march past by different labor unions and organizations, proudly showcasing their uniforms and placards, calling for the improved labor rights. This was followed by a vibrant cultural performances that reflected Zambia's unity and diversity. Union leaders took the opportunity to raise pressing concerns, including calls for fair wages, strengthened labor laws, and improved job security, especially in light of recent economic shifts and automation trends. As the celebrations concluded around midday, many workers expressed a renewed sense of hope. They welcomed the government's promises and urged continued dialogue and action to ensure those words are turned into tangible improvements in their daily lives.
Exporting raw material to value addition, making the product a final one.
Absolutely, and followed by the Ministry of Health from the University Teaching Hospitals again.
Women and new.
Yamba Margaret, ICU TV News.
We continue with the news. A 48-year-old Tanzanian national has been arrested for allegedly being in possession of 6 bags of Zesco copper cables, with authorities described as part of the ongoing crackdown on infrastructure vandalism. Zesco Senior Manager for Special Duties and Investigations, Benny Mwana, Makwe, confirmed the arrest, stating that the suspect was intercepted while traveling to Wapula province on Kitwe, the Kapa Belt. Mr. Mwanamakwe disclosed that the Power Utilities Company has so far recorded 69 cases of vandalism, leading to apprehension of 40 suspects. He explains that the suspects were caught burning cables and removing home services cables, mainly on the Copper Belt, posing a serious threat to the delivery of electricity services. With the help of the Zambia police, ZESCO managed to recover the stolen cables on site. Mr. Mwanakatwe added that the vandalism incident have resulted in the financial loss of 1.5 million kwacha for the company. He further urged members of the public to report suspicious activities around power infrastructure, warning that the cable vandalism not only disrupts power supply, but also endangers lives and economic activities. The Ministry of Health has revealed that tobacco-related illnesses are responsible for approximately 7,000 deaths each year in Zambia, sparking renewed calls for stronger tobacco control measures. According to Dr. Namasiku Siyumba Kunda, Program Manager for Non-Communicable Disease and Neglected Tropical Diseases, the number of lives lost annually due to tobacco use is alarming. She stressed the urgent need to intensify national efforts aimed at reducing copper consumption and promoting healthier alternatives. Dr. Kunda made these remarks during a workshop focused on development, information, economic and communication IUC materials to support alternative livelihoods, raise tobacco control awareness, and prepare for the 2025 World No Tobacco Day commemorations. Also speaking at the event, Health Mental Officer Gabriel Lungu highlighted the risk posed by second-hand smoke, noting that tobacco endangers not only smokers, but also non-smokers who are regularly exposed to tobacco smoke. Meanwhile, Tobacco Control Technical Working Group Chairperson Master Chimbala expressed optimism about the proposed tobacco control bill, stating that once enacted, the registration will significantly enhance the country's capacity to regulate tobacco use and protect healthy. We take a break for now, more to come in the following stories.
And others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today. At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Papa, I found someone who feels like he's the one.
I thought the Machelas were searching for peace. What's the son? Hey, one should tell. Mrs. Majula.
Lillian. You are not wife, of course.
I don't want to ever set my eyes on you.
Is it done?
The deal is done. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Do you think you'd ever live in the village?
I saw no harm in being friends with him.
Aim for 200% boss. I'll stay loyal to the boss.
and do what needs to be done. This war began many generations ago.
People speculate that maybe Kasu was trying to get revenge for her husband.
Thank you for staying with us. In local news, police in Kasempa district have launched a murder investigation following the death of a 60-year-old man who allegedly buried alive in connection with a traditional ritual known as Kikondo, moving coffin. According to the police spokesperson Ray Hamonga, the incident occurred on April 30, 2025 in Chapela village, Nyoko Chiefdom, after a mob accused the man of causing his grandson's death through witchcraft. The event began on April 29 when 22-year-old Alan Mwewa drowned while fishing in Mushingi stream. His body was recovered by local fishermen and funeral arrangements were initiated. However, during the preparation, some villagers disregarded advice from Chief Nyoka, Mr. Sukubangu Shadrach, who had urged that the death be treated as accidentally. Instead, they invoked the Kikondo ritual on outlawed belief in which a coffin is said to spiritually guide mourners to the persons responsible for the death. The coffin allegedly led the group to the home of Mr. Boaz Ludia, grandfather of the deceased and headman of the Chapela village. Citing prior disputes over fishing and suspicions of witchcraft, the mob assaulted Mr. Ludia and dragged him to the burial site. There is an act of mob justice. They buried him alive by placing the coffin over him and sealing the grave. Police later discovered both bodies buried in the same grave. Authorities have marked the site for possible and opened a murder docket. No arrest has been made as both families involved have reportedly fled. This marks the second Kikondo-related case reported in Kasempa district. Officers will be deployed to Nyoko Chiefdom to suspect the investigations and lead sensitization programs against mob justice and harmful traditional practices. Members of the public with relevant information are urged to come forward. More details in the following story.
Kasempa Police Station is investigating a tragic incident involving the unlawful killing of a male adult believed to have been buried alive following a suspected practice of Kikondo, commonly known as a moving coffin, in Chapela village, Nyoka Chiefdom of Kasempa district. The incident occurred on the 30th of April 2025 between 10 and 18 hours and was officially reported to the police at 15 hours by Chief Nyoka, Mr. Shadrach Shaban Kangu, age 49, of Mwepu village. Preliminary investigations revealed that on the 29th of April 2025, around 9 hours, the deceased male person, Alan Mwewa, age 22, drowned in a shallow stream known as Mushingashi while fishing. His body was retrieved by fellow fishermen and arrangements were made by family members to bury him in Nyoka area. However, during preparations for burial, a mob from the village acting against the counsel of Chief Nyoka, who had advised that the death be treated as natural, forcibly initiated the traditional practice of Kikondo. This practice is erroneously believed to reveal individuals responsible for deaths through witchcraft. The coffin, allegedly moving on its own under spiritual influence, was led by the mob and directed to the residence of Mr. Boaz Ludia, aged 62, who was both the grandfather to the deceased and headman of Chapela village. The mob accused him of causing his grandson's death.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education has reported a notable decline in learners' absenteeism across the country, with Senga Hill District among the areas showing significant improvement. Technical Services Permanent Secretary Dr. Kelvin Mambwe attributed the progress to key education reforms, including the free education policy and infrastructure development funded through the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). Speaking during a courtesy call to Chief Mpande of the Mambwe people at his palace, Dr. Mambwe noted the constructions of additional classrooms blocks has reduced congestion and improved learning conditions in schools. Mr. Mambwe echoes absenteeism levels have dropped significantly. Vulnerable children have returned to school, and no learners is sitting on the floor in the line with the presidential directive. Mr. Mambe reaffirms the ministry's commitment to ensuring access to quality education for all, particularly in rural and undeserved communities. In response, Chief Mpande commended the government's efforts and pledged his support towards the ministry's development agenda. The Zambian Police Service has arrested jointly charged the 3 South African nationals in connection with financial crimes totaling to over $1 million United States dollars. Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga said the arrest followed a coordinated investigation by the Anti-Fraud Unity at police headquarters in Lusaka and local officers in Livingstone. Mr. Hamonga identified the suspect as Daniel Brink, aged 67, of Simonga in Livingstone, and Managing Director for Kaboka Zambia Limited, Daniel, aged 44, in Livingstone, and Suresh Kamai, aged 47, of Highlands in Livingstone, an accountant with Livingstone Adventures Limited. He states that the trio faces 3 charges, namely theft by director, theft, and falsification of a financial registrar, and explains that in the first count, the suspects allegedly misappropriated 980,000 United States dollars intended for Kaboka Zambia Limited between January 2018 and April 15, 2025. Mr. Hamonga says the funds were diverted while the accused held leadership positions at the company, and adds that the second charge involves transactions in which the 3, as directors for Batoka Sky Transport, allegedly obtained 90,000 United States dollars under the pretense of selling 50% of the company's shares to Kaboka Zambia Limited. He notes that the sale reportedly never took place and occurred between 2017 and 2022, stating that in the final charge, Kama is accused of falsifying financial records during the tenure and financial manager at Kaboka Zambia Limited. The alleged misconduct involved mispresentation company expenditures during January 2018 and April 15, 2025. All the 3 suspects have been released on police bond and are expected to appear in court in the coming weeks. The Zambia Police Service reaffirms its commitment to tackling white-collar crime, emphasizing that all individuals involved in such offenses, regardless of nationality or status, will be held accountable. More details in the following story.
The Zambia Police Anti-Frauds Unit of Service Headquarters in Lusaka, in collaboration with officers in Livingstone, has officially arrested and jointly charged 3 suspects for multiple offenses involving financial crimes. The suspects are Daniel Brink, male age 67, of house number 1962, Nakatindi Road, Simonga, Livingstone, a South African national and mining director for Batoka Zambia Limited. Daniel Gelden Hales, male aged 44, of plot number 417, Ellen Brittle, Livingstone, a South African national. And Shureth Kumar, male aged 47, of Highlands, Livingstone, a South African national and accountant for Livingstone Adventures Limited. The 3 suspects have been jointly charged and arrested for the offense of theft by director, contrary to Section 279 of Chapter 87 of the Penal Code Act of the Laws of Zambia. The offense relates to the theft of 980,000 United States dollars intended for Batoka Zambia Limited. This occurred between January 2018 and April 15, 2025 in Livingstone. In count 2, in this count, the same suspects, who are all directors of Batoka Sky Transport, have been charged for the theft of 90,000 United States dollars. The amount was obtained under the false pretext of selling 50% shares of Batoka Zambia Limited, when in fact no such sale was intended. This occurred between 2017 and 2022 in Livingstone. Count 3, falsification of register. Charged in this count is Shureth Kumar in his capacity as financial manager and custodian of financial records of Livingstone Adventures Limited. He is alleged to have permitted or made false entries in the financial register regarding the usage of funds received into the bank accounts of Batoka Zambia Limited with full knowledge of their falsity. This offense occurred between January 2018 and April 15, 2025. All three suspects have been released on police bond and will appear in court soon. The Zambia Police Service remains committed to ensuring that individuals involved in white-collar crimes are brought to justice regardless of their status or nationality. Thank you.
You're still watching ICU TV Men News. We take a short break. Up next is international and sports news. Stay with us.
Papa, I found someone who feels like he's the one.
I thought the Machelas were searching for peace.
What's Toksan? Hey, one shoot I.
Mrs. Majula.
Lillian. You are not wife, of course.
I don't want to ever set my eyes on you.
Is it done?
The deal is done. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Do you think you'd ever live in the village?
I saw no harm in being friends with him.
Aim for 200% my boss. I'll stay loyal to the boss and do what needs to be done.
This war began many generations ago.
People speculate that maybe Kasu was trying to get revenge for her husband.
Welcome back. And in international news, a Kenyan member of parliament has been shot dead in the streets of the capital, Nairobi, by gunmen at a motorcycle in suspected assassination. Police said the attackers had been training chows where vehicles, being of them, got off of motorbike and shot him at close range. Police spokesperson Muchiri Nyanga said in a statement that the nature of the crime appeared to be both targeted and predetermined. The opposition MP has 2 months ago complained about threats in his life, local media reported. And still in international news, the authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo are seeking to lift former President Joseph Kabila's immunity for prosecution after causing him backing rebels in the east. There was a substantial body of documents, testimonies, and material facts linking Kabila to the M23 armed group, Justice Minister Constant Mutambo said on Wednesday. The M23 currently controls parts of the mineral-rich east of the country after making significant advances early this year. Kabila, 52, has not commented on the accusations, but has in the past denied by connection with the insurgents. We take a short break. Stay tuned.
At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg's Third University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Welcome back, and now in sports news. Zambia rugby team ready to face African champions this weekend. The Zambian national rugby team is set to face Zimbabwe in a highly anticipated international friendly this weekend. Head coach Lawrence Njovu has named a final squad of 25 players, trimmed down from an initial group of 41. The lineup features a mix of seasoned veterans and emerging talents. Njovu noted that the mental resilience has been a key area of focus during training and identified weaknesses from their last clash with Zimbabwe in 2024. Vice Captain Rogers Mukupa echoed the team's optimism, citing strong unity and high morals as they prepare for the challenge. The first match kicks off on May 4, 2025 in Harare, Zimbabwe, with the return league scheduled for May 31st, 2025. The sports news brings us to the end of the main news, but before we go, let's take a look at the stories that made headlines. Zambia commemorates International Labour Day with a call for inclusive economic development. Kasempa man buried alive in Kikondo-Linked murder. 3 South African nationals arrested in Zambia for multi-million-dollar financial crimes. Kenyan MP shot dead in targeted arrest in Nairobi. And Zambia rugby team ready to face African Championships this weekend. Thank you for watching. For more news, stay glued to ICU TV page on Facebook and website at icutv.com.